Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So I'd just like to go over the patch notes for the upcoming update to the game and what changes should you see once they go live and you log back in. Well, as I've said in a previous video, we shall be able to unlock the new dungeon, the Vault of Stars, this Tuesday. So today, March the 2nd, just after the patch that will be occurring, I believe at 2 UTC today, for then a couple of hours. But unfortunately, for some reason or other, we shall only be able to queue publicly on all of these dungeons. We shall no longer be able to queue privately. I don't know, perhaps they messed something up with the private queue, but we shall only be able to queue publicly for these dungeons for a period of time until they come up with an update that we can again access the private queuing. Now, in order to actually obtain access to the epic dungeon, the Vault of Stars, you'll of course have had to go and complete your campaign progression all the way to 225 currency there. And looking in the public queue here for the dungeon, you'll have to meet a requirement of 45,000 item level to actually run the dungeon. However, I do recommend more, and I might make a video on it, the minimum requirements for basically each role that you need to basically complete the dungeon successfully. Now we move on, and those of you who have went and actually purchased the pack in the Zen store, this pack of the Fairy Finds, and within it we could obtain the new companion, the Eladrin, and much to the peeves of many of us, the new companion was bound to character when we bought it, so we weren't able to sell it or weren't able to transfer it to a different character, so you were limited to obtaining this companion on your actual character that you bought the pack on. Well, good news, they've gone ahead and they're going to make it so that it's going to be bound to account, so you should now be able to claim it for free, much like I can the Black Dragon Ion Stone. You should be able to claim it for free on all of your characters. Of course, it will be bound to either character or account there still. Now, with regards to VIP and the actual seals vendor, we used to not be able to purchase the gear with the new seals, but that should be updated and you'll be able to spend those seals of the wild here on the weathered wood gear. Now, another pretty cool thing is we'll be able to actually purchase the gear from Storm King's Thunder, this Relic Gear. Now, as a paladin, this gear looks actually really cool, especially more so on a male character, and even so, it's still pretty awesome, and I've always liked to get it restored. You can of course still obtain it, and many people have done so, by just farming out the dungeons like FBI or Master Spellplay Caverns, and then you can go and restore the gear. Unfortunately, we aren't able to access the weapons. I did obtain them once, but I believe I deleted them from my account. That was a good while ago. But I would really like to obtain these weapons and restore them. The shield is pretty epic and unique. That being said, we move on to some gear balancing changes. Now, the boots of the Herald that you obtain from the Avernus Haunts, its bonus was now properly changed so that it gives total percentage instead of rating. So it should give you +% to your defense and to all nearby party members instead of just giving that rating to the defense. Now, they've also went and changed up some of the Sharandar Forest Guardian gear to give a few adjusted stats. And there's no change for the Paladin, but the Forest Guardian's Raid Coif, it will grant accuracy instead of control bonus, and the Forest Guardian's Raid Cap is now called the Forest Guardian's Raid Crown. We all know the Butterfly Bilethorn weapon enchantment. It used to be really terrible, and it had a magnitude of really small amounts there. And compared to the actual standard Bilethorn enchantment, it was hitting like, a wet noodle. So they went and adjusted it, and now it should have the same magnitudes as our favored Bilethorn enchantment for single target damage, having there up to 60 magnitude at rank 14. Now they've also went and changed Castle Never so that the enemies within it, those rotting undead adventurers, will deal significantly less damage, reduced by 67%. They've also went and changed up some adjustments with the Infernal Citadel. So now that the first boss, Morzak, will have his Spine Toss, it will now deal 33% less damage. The second boss, Zaphael, the Fire Burst, will now deal 25% less damage, and the Hellfire Engine, it's Overcooked, now deals a reasonable amount of damage. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was dealing a whole lot of damage that it could basically like two-shot a tank. 2 ticks and you're gone, you're burnt out. Even with an Elven Battle I couldn't survive that. Now those of you running the Mirage Weapons, they've went again and nerfed it a second time. However, I believe it's mainly just to balance that the rogue deals a significant amount of damage with the weapons. So they have intended to go and look back on the Mirage Weapons again and reduce just the overall bleed effect that the rogue has with these Mirage Weapons, and then go and buff the Mirage Weapons back up again. But it's basically like a quick patch of reducing it all again. Anyway, they've also went and changed our Shadowclad enchantment, so now it actually works. It used to not give you the stacks of the defense that it was saying, and only give you that deflect. So it should now properly work, along with actually removing those stacks whenever you successfully deflect. It was pretty good when it didn't remove the stacks, but now it will. Anyway, they've also went and made some class adjustments. So with the fighter, the retaliate, this power no longer incorrectly deals damage twice. It used to be able to hit twice whenever you retaliated. So to help offset the reduction in damage caused by this fix, the magnitude has been increased to 500 up from what it was 300. They've also went and changed up the banners a bit, so now they will actually give like more standardized statistics and things like that buffs. So they're giving only their like 5,000 stats instead of like 15,000 stats. And then this Blood Crystal Raven Skull, they've also went and reduced it, where you will effectively only gain a 50% of your missing health as a shield. Now this used to be 100% of your missing health as a shield, and it used to last 14 seconds. Now it's only going to last 7 seconds. I think this is mainly due to like PvP or how good it was even within like Tower of the Mad Mage. It is unfortunate that it has been nerfed. Its effectiveness, it was really good, but yeah, now that's gone. Along with that, they've also changed the Tiamat's Orb of Majesty, and now instead of giving a 30% damage reduction to enemies, it will only give a 15%, like it was before the combat rework. Now those of us who had actually bought the blessings for this Redeemed Citadel campaign, we couldn't actually farm out any more progression on it. We couldn't farm up this bar. Well, fortunately they've gone and changed it so that those of us who have actually bought these blessings can actually continue to grind out the event if we haven't fully completed it. And this was a bit outrageous when they went and initially done that, effectively taking our value away. Now that's pretty much everything for these upcoming patch notes. Hopefully those of you who are ready to jump into the new dungeon will have some good fun. I do recommend joining a party of friends you can rely on and you know, as we shall only be able to queue publicly. And this comes with the risk of you won't be able to switch out any of your party members with any party members that you know. You will be reduced to having to look for a random person, and good luck with that. Anyway, hopefully I presented this well. If I did, consider leaving the video a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.